So we're going to move on to the 3D figures. Okay? And as you know, 3D figures are made of 2D shapes, right? So if I take a 3D figure and I actually break it apart or I open it up, okay, no matter what figure it is. So this is my 3D figure here, for example. When I take it apart, it's made of 2D shapes, okay, that has been folded to make a 3D shape. So when we unfold that 3D shape, we call that the net, okay? So this is called a net of the 3D shape. So a net is a 2D pattern that can be folded to form a 3D shape. Right? So think of a pizza box. When they bring the pizza box, right, they bring it as a cardboard, right, that's flat, right? And then they fold it and then put it together to make a 3D shape. So if you're looking at a 3D shape, you always find two things for a 3D shape. You find surface area or the volume. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is the surface area. Okay? So the surface area of a 3D shape is the sum of all the areas of all the sides, right? So if I break the 3D shape into the 2D shape, and I find the area of each of the shapes, and I add them together, that gives me the surface area of the 3D shape, okay? We do have formula sheets for 3D shapes, right? But then sometimes, let's say I ask you to find the surface area of this, right? Where one of the sides is missing or one of the faces are missing, right? So you have to know what it's made of, okay? And what do you need to use and what you don't need to use. So we're gonna talk about here, we're gonna talk about how can I find the surface area of a 3D shape if I break it apart into nets, okay? So, what do you see? What shapes do you see here? We see rectangles, we see triangles, and we see squares. Perfect. All right, so if I draw this right here, right? That's what basically where you see a triangle and where you see a square. Okay, so if I'm gonna draw a net, how many rectangles do you see? Or how many rectangles do you think we have? 5, right? So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and the bottom is 5, right? And then you'll see that we have the two, what we call a pentagon, right? So I can draw this like this. So 1, 2, sorry, my shapes don't look anything like a rectangle. So bad. They should be all equal and they should look like each other, okay? And then I have a pentagon. So if I'm going to label this, I have basically 10 for this, and all of these are equal to each other, and they're all 10, right? It's enough that I write the 10 on one, and then put that all of these sides are equal to each other, and then this is equal to 30, and then I can do this to point out that all of these are 30. And then also I know that This is 10, this is 10, this is 10, this is 10. And so are these sides. So they're all 10 except the long sides, which are 3. So if you had to find the surface area of this, what would you want to do? Probably want to find the area of all the rectangles and squares and whatever you have, right? So you want to find the area of this, 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 and this, which are the same. So the area of this times 5. You want to find the area of the 2 squares. You want to find the area of the 2 triangles, and then you add them together. Okay? Now the question doesn't ask us to do it, but it's doable, right? We can do it. Do you want us? Let's do it together. Okay? Even though it's not asking us to, but let's do it. So I have 5 rectangle. So the area of the rectangle, I'm going to have to multiply that by 5 because I have 5 of them. So it'll be 5 times 10 times 30, right? Because the area of a rectangle is length times width. So let me just write that here. The area of the rectangle is length times width. Okay, so that's going to be 300 times 5, so that's 1500 centimeter square. These 2 shapes right here, they're 2 squares, right? And the area of the square is also length times width, but my length and width are equal to each other, so it's length squared if you want. So for the square, it's going to be L squared, which is 10 squared, and that equals to 100. And because I have 2 of them, so I can do 2 times. So the area of both squares is 200 centimeters squared. Are we okay with that? What else is missing? The 2 triangles. What's the formula for the triangle? For the area? Space times height divided by 2. Okay? So let me look at the triangle for a second. What do I know about the triangle? Do I know the base? Do I know the height? So I have 2 of them. I'm going to multiply by 2. Do I know the base? What is it? 10. Do I know the height? So I'm going to draw the triangle here. So I know this is 10. Do I know the height? No, it's not given to me. I don't know what the height is. So I need to solve for the height. So this is an extra step that we have to take. Okay? So I'm going to take this on the side. So let's draw this. I have 10, 10, 10, and I need to know what the height is. How do you find the height? Anyone?
10 times 10 divided by 2? Or that is 7?
I don't know what the height is.
Oh, no, that is
Right? So basically what I'm trying to find right now is I'm trying to find this. Right? Something that we learned in the previous unit. Okay, eyes on the board for a second. So if you,
I know.
what is it?
What P? Like, are you trying to find the perimeter, right?
No, I'm trying to find what that height is. I'm trying to find this. I know this is 10, and I know that the whole base is 10. Can I have your attention here? So if you look at this, right here, what kind of triangle is this? Right angle triangle, right? I don't know what this is, but I can find it. This is an equilateral triangle. Equilateral means that all sides are the same. So when I drop down the height, it's gonna cut my base in half, right? So that means this side here is 5. Now, right angle triangle, I know 2 sides, I'm looking for the third. What do I use? Starts with a P. What formula do I use? Pythagorean theorem, that's right. So, if I'm looking at this right angle triangle, I know 2 sides, I'm looking for the third. So, a squared plus b squared equals c squared, right? Remember that c is your hypotenuse, and in this case, my hypotenuse is 10. So, I don't know what a is, I know b is 5, I'm looking for, I know c is 10. So a squared plus 5 squared equals 10 squared. A squared plus 25 equals to 100. Bring the 25 over so that becomes 100 minus 25, which is 75, and I can square it. Square root of 75 is 8.66, so 8.7. So you see, I had to do the math to find the height, because I need the height to find the area of the triangle. So now I know my height. I know my base is 10. My height is 8.7. So the final answer for this is going to be 87 centimeters squared. And then to find your total surface area, what do you do? So I found the area of all the triangles, I found the area of the squares, and I found the area of the rectangles. What else do I need to do to find your total surface area? Add them all together. Okay, so the total surface area. So when it comes to 3D shape, we call them surface area. So it's going to be 1500 plus 87 plus, what was the one for the square right here? 300, 200 plus 200 and that's going to give me 1787 centimeter squared, and that is my total area for that shape.